concern given the motion and just how this storm is kind of wobbling up to the north. As you can see here, it's pretty much walking slowly, but it is going to be this area just southwest of Canton by about 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 miles, between 3 and 5 miles southwest of Canton. But Canton, the rain is already coming down. It's about to pick up even more so, and that threat for damaging hail will be coming in as well. However, as we mentioned before, if you've been here in Oklahoma long enough, you know how these towns are. You go just a few miles outside of town, and you're over some open land. And so we're talking about, it's almost a game of just feet between where the hail core comes in, where the rotation comes in. But we're watching this, as you would know, here in Oklahoma, it is April. This is our tornado season. Tornado warnings, all of them need to be taken very seriously. And right now at 8:06, Canton, you need to be going into your tornado shelter or the innermost room of your home as the storm moves over, because the rain already coming down. It is quite heavy. And then Canton Lake, north of town, it's going to take about 20 minutes or a little less than 20 minutes to get from the town of Canton to right over Canton Lake there, which is going to be located up here outside the tornado warning. But we have to assume that this tornado warning will likely get extended a little bit farther up to the north. I want to go back out to field meteorologist Michael Armstrong in Storm Command. Michael has been on this storm. I want to get a better visual from him at this point as the sun's beginning to set. Michael, what are you seeing from your vantage point?
I certainly don't want to sound the all clear for Chester, but this storm that has developed over Sealing and has moved north is certainly interrupting the warm inflow into the Chester storm, and that is good news for people who live in Chester right now. We're going to actually go ahead and drop south and get on the south side of the Sealing storm to see if it starts to pick up in its rotation. But I am of the opinion that the Sealing storm is really going to mess with the Chester storm tremendously and hopefully help weaken it, and therefore it hopefully will not produce a tornado over Chester. There's nothing to indicate right now that that would happen. We still see some lowered areas there. You see on my 360 cam looking back to the north. I mean, there's certainly areas that look suspect under there as I zoom in, lowered areas, but we've been seeing those for a long time. And I can just tell you that the air is really cool underneath that storm because it's ingesting colder air from the Sealing storm that we're about to drive through right now. As a matter of fact, we're starting to get a little bit of small hail right now just as we get on the north side of Sealing. So not very big, just probably maybe dime, penny size hail, not big hail. But as a result, though, I think this storm is going to help Chester avoid a tornado, hopefully.
Yeah, and I think you're making some very good points there, Michael. And we just have been in communication with the National Weather Service. So this tornado warning in western Major County at this moment, unless something changes in the next 6 minutes, will not be extended. So that is good news on that tornado warning. They will then replace it with a severe thunderstorm warning. Now, the tornado warning that we have right now, that is currently for this storm that includes Canton, that expires at 8:15. This one we will have to watch as we go into the next 10 to 15 minutes or so, see if this one too gets extended. But as we mentioned, these storms interacting into Sealing right now that just went up is really beginning to disrupt the inflow into the storm. That is good news. That is what we all want to see. That's going to help hopefully bring down the rotation within these cells. But right now, Sealing, there are some strong winds. There is some rotation just right over Sealing. Right now, though, it looks like the strongest of the winds, they're not matching up evenly here. So it looks like the inbound winds might be a little bit stronger than the outbound winds, but Sealing right now, some heavy rain, and with the storm that is currently right over Sealing, that is going to help diminish the tornado threat here. That's what we want to see. Now, the tornado warning that's ongoing right now down near Canton, this one now making its way closer into Canton. Let's look at velocity right now and get an idea as to what we are seeing with this particular cell. Still seeing some spin, and you know what, as Jonathan mentioned earlier, these kind of cycle, they pulse up, and so as fast as they can pulse up, they can quickly pulse down. What we want to see then happen is see if it pulses down more than it pulses up. So right now there is some spin within this. We have seen the shear come down a little bit in the last couple of radar scans, and that's certainly some helpful news for us and helping determining at least what the next threat that we now have coming in is going to be. So as of right now, it does appear that this tornado warning that we have right now for, let's see here, for Blaine and Dewey County has been expired. So this was a storm of concern. So in about 5 minutes or so, unless something changes, we will no longer have any tornado warnings ongoing out here. So we still have this one for Western Fairview, or I'm sorry, Western Major County, west of Fairview. And this one is still ongoing, but the storm is now lifting up north of Sealing. That's going to help disrupt us. And right now, Jonathan, while there is some spin, as all storms usually have rotation, Jonathan, the rotation doesn't appear to be nearly as tight as it was just minutes ago.
Yeah, you have two storms converging right now, and sometimes that doesn't do well when they collide. So you had the original storm that Chris Sanner and field meteorologist Michael Armstrong were on. It was this cell here, and it's dropping to the south, and I think it's pretty much done. New updraft forming right over Sealing, and they have now issued, the National Weather Service has just issued a new severe thunderstorm warning. This is going to be for it looks like $half size hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. This is going to be until 9 o'clock, Blaine, Dewey, and Major County. And, you know, they have the storm movement to the east. You got cells coming in from the north, cells coming in from the southeast. It's like a big collision of cells right now. The one cell that we may want to watch just in the short time, Michael was talking about it, this backside, this storm on the south side near Sealing doesn't have real strong rotation on it, but there's some broad rotation, so we'll have to watch that. Going back to the southeast with the Carlton storm, Canton-Carlton storm, this one right here, the lightning has come down. That's really good. I'm going to switch over to velocity. I want to show you how the storm looks. And again, the mesocyclone itself has actually kind of tracked to the north. I think it kind of went kind of that way. Let me show you the velocity couplet, and you can see that's kind of the direction it went. Let me move the arrow over here just a little bit more. It wasn't really moving to the northeast. It was almost moving due to the north, and it's not as strong right now. So good news, Canton Lake, Carlton, the trend with your storm, the tight area of rotation has really loosened up. The velocities have come down in speed or intensity. Those are all the signs we like to see when a storm is starting to spin out and lose its strength. So trend down now with the Canton-Carlton storm. Damon, that's really good news.
Yeah, and that's what we always want to see. Right now, 8:13, so in about 90 seconds, we will have no more tornado warnings in this state. These tornado warnings are now being replaced by severe thunderstorm warnings. We like seeing the trend coming down. Trust me, no one likes to see tornadoes out here. However, we know how bad our weather can get very quickly, and all of these communities matter to us. Let's go out to field meteorologist Michael Armstrong in Storm Command. Michael, what are you seeing?
Rotation's picking up on the north side of Sealing right now, Damon. This new storm that's gone up has gone up rotating. You can see it right there in my shot right now. It's right over the highway. I'm going to go back to the left just a little bit. So this is developing right on the northwest side of Sealing right now. So you're looking at Highway 270, and that's the cloud base. I'm gonna actually tilt the camera up just a little bit so you can see what I'm seeing. So this area right in here is actually rotating right above the road. It's just not on the ground, but it is rotating right here.
Yeah, and we can see that spin there. And again, you're just north of the town. I believe the tower there that has Sealing written vertically down it is going to be just there on the left-hand side. So for anyone that's wondering what Michael's looking at, he is looking at this spin right here that is going up just about 1 mile north of the community of Sealing here. Right now, again, there is some rotation as Michael is certainly pinpointing very accurately from his vantage point just near the wind farms. And again, he is looking at this spin right here. So the tornado threat is not zero for the next at least couple hours, but it is on the low side. But we still have to watch all of these storms that go up. And again, you can see what we're dealing with now. Our next threat is darkness. And so now we're looking for either power flashes or lightning flashes to help illuminate the sky. We have a little bit of daylight left before it gets completely dark here. But once again, field meteorologist Michael Armstrong just north of the town of Sealing by just about a mile or so. And again, we can see his picture coming in and what appears to be some rotation within these cells. So at the time being, we do not have any tornado warnings in the state as of right now, but we are going to watch these storms very closely as we go into the next at least little while here, because the chance for storms is going to continue as we go into the evening. Right now, we do not have any tornado watches. We do not have any tornado warnings as of right now. This is the first time in about an hour and a half that we have been tornado warning free, which is good to report. So we're going to continue to watch it very closely. And once again, we will continue to update you as we go.